Let's do art. Markers.
Okay, so you want to do markers? Okay.
Getty's a very independent, sassy, confident little lady, but she's very curious. She wants to know everything at any given point. She wants you to describe it and explain it, and if she doesn't get her way, she's very outspoken about what she wants and what she doesn't want.
More shapes? Yes or
Let's
no?
read a book.
Okay, a book.
It's wonderful. She's a lot like me when I was a kid, so I think I'm getting a taste of my own medicine. But she's a wonderful kid. Yeah, we're lucky to have her. She has spinal muscular atrophy, type 1, which is the most severe, and so she's very weak in her skeletal muscles, so she can't walk and she can't sit up unless she's assisted. So our lungs, we can take a full breath and out, and hers is diminished. So that comes with some challenges, and one is it's very hard for her to get through an illness. If we could alleviate that part of it, she would be in the classroom, but unfortunately that's one of our biggest challenges is her health. She needs to be among her peers, so I started looking into what other kids with her SMA type are doing, and a lot of kids had the Vigo, and so I just educated myself. What I found was that it has its pros, it has its cons, but ultimately it's the best that there is out in the market right now, and that I need to make sure that I'm fully educated before I go into the IEP, before I fight for it, because they're going to need to understand it, they're going to need to be sold on it, because it's not a cheap piece of machinery. I had the IEP, I had all the information, I took them through the steps, I showed them videos, and in that same IEP was a yes. It was remarkable. I had all this armor on and I was ready to fight, and I ended up not having to fight. At first I thought of the Vigo as a machine, as a robot, as some kind of mechanical device, but a Vigo is independence, being present instead of being an onlooker.
Yeah, you're behind the circle.
You want to do a circle with them?
Yes.
Yeah?
Be part of their...
Being able to have the Vigo gives us a way that she can still get educated just like any other kid. It's just a window. It just kind of opens the world up to Getty. It wasn't just watching the kids go into a circle, she literally was in the circle of playing music. It's just that whole participatory state that she is allowed to be in instead of just being the onlooker. It's really very great.
I work in a state-funded preschool program. My morning class has 24 children from 3 to 5. Most of them will be entering kindergarten next year. It appeared to me an absolutely amazing opportunity for Getty. I felt like it was a challenge I was ready for. I have a lot of history in early childhood education, and I knew that this could work. And I also knew that I was going to have to allow myself to make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes, knowing that this is not a perfect system.
It was not a smooth transition. The classroom that we're in right now is literally a drop zone, so the tech guys have to come out and actually rewire the whole entire classroom. Some days we would just get dropped and we couldn't get back on. We just needed to be patient. Last year, we didn't get a chance to go into the classroom until December. That was kind of a disservice because the kids had already kind of bonded, and so it was hard for them to bond to Getty at that point. So last year was really just kind of being an onlooker, less as an integral part of the classroom. But this year we got to start at the very beginning, and we got to bring Getty in, the kids got to meet her, and I think teacher Eileen feels a lot more comfortable with the Vigo, and we feel more comfortable, and so I think we needed a good 6 months to just kind of work all the snags out, and so we started up in September, and it's been terrific. It was very fun for Getty at the very beginning because it was something different, it was something new. She wasn't staring at mom anymore, she was able to interact with the kids.
Last year, when Getty was 3 years old, we started out only using the Vigo at story time. We would typically greet her and she would listen to the story, and then the children would say goodbye. I could see that she connected with the children just by how she looked at the children, and what her mom shared with me about her excitement. So at the IEP meeting, we decided to incorporate as much of the regular school day into her day. We figured out the best times in the day to make sure she was tuned in, and how we would manipulate the Vigo in those situations. When a question is asked of Getty, we came up with a system of thumbs up or thumbs down.
Do you want to keep going with this?
Do you want to keep going? Yes or no?
There's times where there's clear yes or no questions that are for her. Do you want to go to the Play-Doh table? So I have a yes and no board, and so she'll just use her eye gaze to look at one of the two. I use a thumbs up and thumbs down.
Do you want to go play at the Play-Doh?
Do you want to go play with Play-Doh? Play-Doh? Yes.
Kids love it. They love that instant gratification. So if they're showing something to Getty and they're like, you know, do you like this, Getty? I'll always say yes, because they get so giddy that she's communicating with them.
Can you see the table?
Everything's hands-on. Getty has a little activity room, and so we can pretty much find something quickly, you know, to try and suffice for whatever activity is actually happening in the classroom. And Eileen gives me the lesson plan a week before, so we pretty much know what's going to happen that day. We're constantly modifying. There's music playing and the kids are walking, so I'm moving Getty's arms slowly as you would maybe walking, and then faster if you were running and jumping. And I can't engage all of her body as much as I would like to, but we do as much motion as we can to make sure that she's doing what she's seeing that the kids are doing. A typical day is circle time at the very beginning. Teacher Eileen will read a book, or we'll do some dancing, or we'll do some music, and then we'll go participate at one of the tables in whatever activity it is.
Silkworm eggs. So
Getty got to see the whole process of a silkworm being born. She got to look at an actual egg, and then she got to look at the next step of them almost being hatched. And Marisol picked up the egg right to the camera so she can actually see the egg, and then she magnified the egg so she could see it even closer.
Getty could hear the children talking about their discovery of the silkworm eggs and absorb that new knowledge.
Getty might be having the same questions as well. I know what she wants and what she needs, but for her to have a clear question posed is something that's always going to be a difficulty. So it's exciting to know that she's probably having the same questions as the kids, so it's really cool.
The children went on to draw pictures of the silkworms and write the word eggs, and she did that from home.
Oh, I see the eggs.
But
we have to cut it.
Everything's hands-on, which is wonderful, and she can participate, and then she can show, you know, the kids that she's doing the same exact thing, which is really a great experience for the other kids.
Do you want to come to the birthday party, Getty?
She's making a phone call to you. You want to answer your phone? Say hello.
Hello.
Getty's dad and I, we're not really good at dramatic play, so to be able to have some of that for, you know, a good 10-15 minutes a day, we're very thankful for.
Getty has similar kinds of dramatic play toys at her home, so it's not a foreign concept to her. The children include her. Whatever it is they're doing, they don't see it as something different. They see it as something that's part of their own play.
You want cheese pizza? I like my friend Getty. She's kind of fun, and I like her kind of like a what? She comes on a Vigo. The white robot, and she does a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Yes or no?
They'll make food for her, they'll bake cakes for her, they'll have their babies, and they'll put Getty's baby in a stroller, and they'll move Getty's baby around, and it's a great experience to watch, and I'm sure she's loving it too. Whenever her eyes get really big, you know that she thinks this is the coolest.
Do you hear that, Getty? You want to come let her know?
I see your baby doll.
Having that para teacher in the classroom has been wonderful because Teacher Eileen has students and she can't be that one-on-one teacher, and so Marisol is the one that's really opening that window for Getty so she can be interactive with the kids. She's doing a great job.
Getty should get the experience that every other kid gets, and if I can help her, you know, if it is talking to other kids or playing in the Play-Doh with her or whatever it may be, she's a wonderful kid. She's really smart, and her mom, she's amazing with her. And I just love the fact that she has the Vigo to experience school like any other kid. I have a really special heart for her.
One of the challenges with young children is building empathy into their daily life, and this is such a perfect opportunity for that. The children have learned to communicate differently, and that helps me understand their problem-solving skills. The children were very excited to have Getty as a friend. In fact, when they drew pictures of her, they drew her as a girl that had arms and legs that moved and a mouth that spoke. They did not see any of the things that were hindering that communication. The collaboration has been phenomenal with not just the specialists in our district, but also with the Yolo County Office of Education. And it's because they have been especially responsive and collaborative that I have felt very confident in using the Vigo in my classroom. It made everything very easy. I told the assistant superintendent a few months ago that this was the highlight of my teaching career, to have her in the class, because it challenged me to think differently and to figure out how to make her day as normal for her as it can be and keep it normal for us. It's challenging because it means you are thinking differently about how you're going to make it work, but knowing that you want to make it work is the key to that.
Advice for districts is take a chance. Revenue is always tight, but this window is going to follow Getty all the way through her education process, and they're never going to have to pay for it again. It's taking a chance on allowing a child to have accessibility at any given point in their life. Some kids aren't ever going to be able to be in the classroom, and they need to have the accessibility just like any other child. I think it would be a huge disservice not to give them a chance to just be just a regular kid.
It's not hard. It's not scary. It's very workable, and it is an amazing opportunity for the class, the teacher, and the student. I would do it again.
Chimpanzees, mice and rats and little...
I'm trying to help other families bridge that gap just like I did for Getty. So the advice I would give any family is just be persistent, to not stop at no, because there's always a yes somewhere. You just have to find it. You have to find the right person to help you open that door, because your child deserves to be in a classroom. A lot of times the district doesn't know why they're saying no, it's just a no. And if you fought just a little bit harder, you might get everything that you need for them. I know she's absorbing everything that she hears, and I know this is a positive experience for her, so I'm excited to see how she grows and learns as the process continues. I haven't met the kindergarten teacher yet, but I know she's really excited to meet Getty and to be that teacher that gets the Vigo, willing to be flexible and innovative and allow the Vigo to do what it was made to do. And this gives Getty a chance to be a regular kid.